Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome to Fail Friday, the series in which I fix your baking fails, my baking fails, or I tell you how to avoid a fail. Now, I have made cake toppers before, but this is the first time that I'm using this particular system. So if you've just gotten a Cricut, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it in order to be able to make your first cake toppers. Now, a pre-warning, I am not an expert when it comes to scrapbooking, but if you just want to make some simple glittery toppers, then this is the video for you. I'm using the Explorer Air 2 today, and I've had this for a while, but I was missing the standard grip mat. So if you do need to buy extra accessories, that is one that you will need. My first fail here was not inserting the mat properly, so I am going to show you how to do that. I also used lower quality paper on my first go. This made it very, very difficult to actually remove. So make sure that when you're trying this out, you do use high quality cardstock. Downloading the actual app that you will need in order to use your system is actually really easy, and it's fairly intuitive. I will post down in the description box below the exact link, and it will guide you step by step on how to do it. After you fully set everything up, it'll bring you to this grid screen. Now that just my type topper there, I did create myself. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. All you need to do is click insert text, we're doing happy birthday, and go through and click whatever script you want. Now I will say most of the fonts on here you do have to pay for. So this is a free one here, but I will say it's a bit too thin for me. I think in future I'm going to download some fonts that I will pay for. Creating a cake topper is all about ungrouping and welding. So what you need to do here is you need to select all, and then you're going to hit this button right here that says ungroup. Because the cake topper needs to be all one piece, it's imperative that every single letter is touching. You want to be really careful about the way that you attach this. And this is kind of where your creativity comes in. It doesn't need to be straight across if you don't want it to be. It can be a little bit more zany looking and be connected in different ways. I personally want a more straight across look, but as you can see, I'm actually connecting it at multiple points. This is to ensure stability, and even though I'm using a pretty thick cardstock, it's to make sure that everything can stay standing on its own. I do make one little mistake here where I don't actually attach the dot of the I to anything, so next time I would make sure to anchor it to that B. This program also offers images, so you can go ahead and click that image button, type in whatever you want to find, and go ahead and insert it. Again, I make another fail here, where if you actually look at this cupcake, it's not connected all the way through. So it's not a great one to choose for the topper. So in the end, I actually end up cutting that whole cupcake completely off. Then you're going to select everything that you want included in the cake topper and hit that weld button. Now you can move that topper anywhere you want. You could resize it and make it as big as you would like. This is the huge draw for me for making your own toppers as opposed to purchasing it elsewhere, because you're not confined by the size of what other people offer. You can make it whatever size you want that's best going to fit for your cake. Had this been a more solid image like my heart in the Just My Type topper, this would have worked out beautifully. My goal was actually to place this on a cupcake. Once you're happy with everything, you're going to click that green button in the right-hand corner, and then it's going to bring you to this grid. You want to make sure that everything is fully aligned properly, and you want to make sure to try to utilize as much of the paper as possible, because quite honestly, you're not going to be able to utilize the scraps for anything else. Once you're happy with it, you're going to hit that button in the lower right-hand corner. Now it's asking you to load all of the tools and materials. All you're going to need is your cardstock, and I highly recommend a good quality cardstock that's actually thick, and line it up with the grid. Make sure that wherever you place your paper is completely in line with where you placed it on the computer. For example, mine went up to 28 centimeters on here, so I made sure it aligned on the computer as well. Then you're going to press that blinking button that has the arrows, and what this is doing is it's feeding your paper products into the system. Make sure you push it all the way through, but don't push too hard. Allow the system to do it for you. Then you're going to hit that little blinking logo button. Like I said, this is a very intuitive system, so it's pretty much going to do everything for you. All you need to make sure to do that I didn't do in the first place is make sure that that mat is fully inserted, and you'll know it's inserted because you've hit another piece. It can't go any further. I would say this approximately took 10 minutes to cut out this full sheet, and you can minimize the screen where it shows you the progress, and you can do whatever else you need to do on your computer. One thing that I forgot to mention is make sure that that dial on the right is turned to cardstock. Once your project is done, you can go ahead and click this arrow button and it's going to release your mat for you. You can't really see the cuts on there, but it is all cut out. Now, this is where the tricky part is. You are going to need that tool that I showed you there. Had I not known from my friend that you would need this tool, I think I would have been in trouble. It would have been really, really hard to loosen all of this paper from the mat. So make sure that you invest in one of those. I'm the type of person that I like to stick with the basics, and because I thought I was making something pretty basic, I didn't think I would need to purchase anything extra on top of the Cricut, but that is a must. This process took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's because my mat is so new, so it's very, very sticky. I've heard that after a few uses, it gets a lot easier to do this portion, which is basically you're taking out all of the negative space. The reason that this pick tool works so well is because it can get under those little pieces of paper. My other tool that I have that's more flat, it's a little bit harder to get under. So you see here, I am using that flat tool because I'm getting those bigger pieces, but you definitely need that little pick tool to actually be able to get under in the first place. These can pretty much stand up on their own, but I want to make sure that they're nice and flat. So I'm just going to lay them out like this and put this big stack of cardstock on top to flatten it out. So you can either use a skewer or a lollipop stick. It really just depends on the style of your cake and also what type of paper that you used. I decided to try to use Scotch tape to adhere this, but then I decided to use something else, and I've used this before for scrapbooking. The reason that I decided to use something else is because I could see the tape. This stuff is called Zotz, and what I love about it is it's super, super sticky and it's clear. It's also moldable, so you're able to mold it around the stick a little bit more so that you can't even see it on the topper at all. You could definitely use tape if that's all you have, but I find this stuff is a lot stickier and it won't come apart on you. Now, of course, you can make this so that the stick doesn't show at all, and you can have it more like it's floating text. The way that you would do that, though, is you would have to go back to the planning stages and make sure that all of the letters aligned so that you wouldn't be able to see that stick. Also, maybe using even heavier cardstock would allow you to do that as well, so you can just attach the stick to the bottom. And again, like I mentioned previously, I would recommend a thicker script so that you could totally hide that stick. This is Fail Friday though, after all, so I hope that you found some tips to be useful, and I hope that you feel a little bit less intimidated about using your Cricut. I know I was super intimidated at first. Now let's get into the pricing. Now I probably wouldn't sell these on their own, though I know lots of people do. I would more so add it on to a cake price. So I think anywhere in the ballpark between $5 and $15, depending on the size, would be a reasonable price for these glitter toppers. Anything custom would be $10 and up, depending on how many words they wanted and what type of paper they would like. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!